And then Travis Cloke, who had the sort of night where he missed from the goal square and landed his bombs from 50. And this is hardly a new conversation.
No,
What do you do with Travis?
Well, I think towards the end of what you were saying about Jack Watts is the players know. I mean, Clokey knows. It's abundantly evident that he's missed an opportunity to kick a bag. So he had 8 or 9 in his sights really easily. But I think I gave him votes. Richo gave him votes for the night, so he's one of the significant players on the field. He's done a lot of work on his goal kicking, and I think for him is not to listen to the noise too much. He's got to, like literally and figuratively, he's got to trust his preparation and trust the routine that he's put in place. He actually went away from it a couple of times for those ones that were closer to goal, but stuck to his routine for further out. So, and Clokey's not a young player. It's not as if he hasn't been in those positions before. But when he goes back to training now, it'll be just stick to your routine, mate. Just go back and do what you've practiced.
I think sometimes the more we talk about it, the worse it can become.
Yeah.
I think, like Bucks is saying, they know. It's not like we have to go up and go, do you know he missed 4 shots at goal on the weekend?
You would hate him reading the paper then, wouldn't you?
But the best thing that Clokey did, and this is something that he hasn't done all the time, and that is just stick to his task. So he missed a shot on goal. We showed an edit today. He missed a shot on goal, got back into position for the kick out, and caused a positive territory turnover. Like put the ball out of bounds, reset, start again. And he did that 3 or 4 times. And defended really well, contested really hard, led really well, despite the challenging issues that he had in his own game. And I think that's leadership encapsulated, because you're not going to be perfect in this game. And you can't be carried away in your own mistakes, because if you are, you'll just chew yourself up. So Clokey's developing in that regard, and he's a lot stronger mentally now and emotionally, and he's got great support around him to be able to handle it.
Very quickly, is Ben Reid okay? There's some reports going on radio tonight that he might have hurt his quad on the weekend.
He didn't finish the game. He hasn't had a scan today. He'll have a scan at some stage over the next couple of days. But it is a quad nick. We think it's just superficial.
Hoping.
Which is that's generally been what we've seen with him. It's systemic. They're not big tears. But we've been really enthused by his last 3 months, coming back from Germany, the work that he's been able to put in. We feel like he's made great progress, and we've been at pains to say that we're going to take our time with him. We've got to get him up and running, and when he gets up, it'll be for the long term. So we're still in the same process. We believe that we're going to get a player back, an All-Australian player back.
At some stage.
Yeah.
But is this a minor setback?
Yeah, well, we reckon... I don't know. We'll have a look and see what it is. But the docs have pretty much said that this is going to be really minor.
So could he be available this week? Is it that minor?
I don't reckon he'll play this week. But he could be back at training in a week, and then it'll be building back up. But a lot of the things that we've put in place are taking hold and gaining traction. We're actually. Oh, it is. But he's had a stiff run. But he's actually a lot better off now than he was.
Do you reckon
and we're bullish about. We're more confident now than we were 6 months ago about the outcome for him.
Will this knock him? And he was right on the edge of getting back, and then.
Well, it's like Travis Cloke. It's like Jack Watts. He doesn't like being speculated on or spoken about in this regard. But this is part of the game. You get poked and prodded and torn to shreds and assessed and analysed to within an inch of your life. And right now he's getting that happen to him about the wrong things, but he's being so diligent, putting everything into it, and we're really happy with the support that we've got around him, and we want to see a young man be able to ply his trade, and that's what we're working towards.
And this day of commemoration that Collingwood and Essendon have been able to mark, I think you played in 10 and you've coached 3. How deep is the meaning of the day to you? Oh,
it's huge. It's huge. And the 100th anniversary of Gallipoli, clearly. You try and educate your young blokes around it, as you do. My sons, as they grow old enough, they'll get to understand it. But I mean, right now my sons will go and sit at the MCG and there'll be silence there, and they'll, what's that about, Dad? And that's really how it gets passed on. But I think the fact that the AFL can be a part of it is and celebrate it along with the people in Melbourne, because we're sharing a passion while we're doing it. I think it's clearly significant, and we're very blessed to be able to do it.
Do you want to, both of you, get your younger players out there? Well, hold up these jumpers, but to get your younger players out there to experience it.
I think they're all great experiences for these young kids, you know, and every opportunity you can to even touch on history, and because one thing these guys are shielded from now, they don't go to work anymore. So they don't have a lot of experiences outside your footy club. So the opportunities you can to touch on, you know, whether it be the Melbourne players that passed away in the war, and the Richmond players, we're playing Richmond, and the Shrine of Remembrance and all those sort of things. I mean, you have to educate your own kids, as Buck said, but our responsibility is to help make these players better people also, you know.
We're going to put some jumpers up.
Essendon and Collingwood jumpers here.
We're our Guernsey's got the poppy on the left and the rising sun on the right, and I mean that's and Essendon and Collingwood have been sort of, from the AFL's perspective, have had the good fortune of being involved in it since '94. Yeah, I mean, the fact that it's recognised is obviously clearly really important to us. And you mentioned the young players. I mean, they're all young players, right? So they all go out and have the privilege of being out there. But you know, we've got a process where we basically induct our newcomers to the club this week around how fortunate we are to be involved in it. As every club is more and more now, especially this week on. Given it's on a Saturday, and I think it's something. You know, it's just great to be a part of. It's a special day.